What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and here's my review of Supergirl, the latest entry in the new DC universe that's being spearheaded by James Gunn and Peter Safran. This one is directed by Craig Gillespie, whose previous work includes Lars and the Real Girl, I, Tonya, and Disney's Cruella. Supergirl follows Kara Zor-El, played by Millie Alcock, who spends her days planet hopping around the galaxy to get drunk and party. While on her latest bender, Kara meets a young girl named Ruthie, played by Eve Ridley, who is on a quest to find a space criminal named Krim so she can avenge her family. After initially refusing to help Ruthie, Kara gets pulled into the conflict when Krim hurts someone close to her. Before I jump into the review, if you'd like to support the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, join the discussion, jump into the comments, and share your thoughts about the movie.
Here's the thing. My cousin and I have very different ideas about what it means to be a hero.
So this is now the second movie to be released as part of the new DCU, and I was looking forward to this one. One, because I was one of the people that actually enjoyed last year's Superman, but also because Supergirl is one of my favorite comic book characters. But the movie we get is kind of a mixed bag. Right off the top, I'll say Millie Alcock is a great Kara, and I think she does a great job in her portrayal of a character that is dealing with grief by avoiding her feelings, drinking away her pain, and cutting herself off from people. Kara is a flawed character, but I think Alcock makes her very likable, and she's the main reason the character works at all in this movie. When we first meet her, she's a mess. She's visiting planets with red suns so that she can get drunk, but as she goes on this journey with Ruthie to find Krim, she has to face her pain, and I think the movie does a really good job with her character arc. We get flashbacks to her life on Krypton, and I think we get enough backstory to piece together who this version of Kara is and why she behaves the way that she does. Eve Ridley plays Ruthie, and I think she does a really good job with her performance as well. And I did enjoy the dynamic between her and Kara. They had a very playful big sister, annoying little sister kind of relationship. We also have Jason Momoa as Lobo, and he does a very good job as Lobo. Momoa is having a lot of fun, and I think he was a really solid casting choice, but the movie doesn't quite know what to do with Lobo. He shows up, says a quippy line or two, and then he leaves. And I think his first appearance is a fun one. But after that, it's mostly rinse and repeat. And so even though I know he's a side character, I just didn't feel like the movie did enough with him, and he never really felt fully part of the story. Now, I did like the tone that was established in Supergirl. It's grittier, it's edgier, and I definitely think it matches the personality of this Kara. And I do think it does a good job of setting the movie and the character apart from Superman, which was more idealistic and hopeful. I also thought the movie had a good amount of heart. We do get some emotional moments, especially with Kara's backstory, that I thought were done really well. And there are times in this movie where, especially when we're back on Krypton, seeing Kara's life before, where we do get some of these really intimate character moments, a lot of reflective character moments. And I thought those moments were when the movie was its strongest. This movie also has some weak spots, and I would say one of the weakest parts of this movie is, unfortunately, the action sequences. Most of the action sequences and the fight scenes, with the exception of a few, were just not exciting. They lacked energy, and some weren't enjoyable because you couldn't really see what was happening, either because they were overly edited, or they were too dark, or a combination of both. I mentioned this in my out-of-theater reaction. I'm going to mention it again here in my review. I'm still baffled by the decision to barely show Kara in one of her big fight scenes. Like, she gets quite a few fight scenes, and some of them are bigger and a little bit more action-packed. But there's one scene in particular where she starts fighting, and then it just cuts to another character, and the camera is just fixed on that character while a lot of the fighting happens in the background. And the whole time I kept thinking, show me Kara fighting. I want to see her fight. The villain is also weak. Krim just wasn't menacing enough as an antagonist, and you really don't feel his presence. This is nothing against the actor. It's just that this character wasn't fully fleshed out. This movie also goes pretty heavy on the needle drops, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised because this happens quite often in movies like this, but Yeah, there were moments where the music was just not necessary. There were a couple times where the songs were really good and they absolutely fit the scenes in which they were in. But yeah, more oftentimes than not, the music just felt obtrusive. Overall, I thought the movie was okay. Supergirl isn't great, but it's also not terrible. It is somewhere firmly in the middle. Is it enjoyable? Yes, at times. Is it also a mess? Yes, at times. Supergirl had the potential to be great. And when you're watching the movie, you can tell that it had all the pieces there. They just didn't all come together. And so what you end up getting is a movie that's fine. So we're now 2 movies into this new DC universe, and I have to wonder what the future holds in terms of what kind of movies we're going to get. Now, I liked Superman. I know some people didn't. And even though it had its flaws, I thought it was entertaining and enjoyable. Supergirl feels like a step down from that, which is unfortunate because I do think Millie Alcock is a great casting choice for Kara, and I do really look forward to seeing her play this character again in future movies. I just hope that she gets better material to work with. So those are my thoughts on Supergirl, which flies into theaters this week. Are you planning on seeing it in a theater? Are you excited about a new Supergirl movie? What are your thoughts on the new DC universe? Jump into the comments and let me know. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. So that does it for me, everyone. I'll see you next time. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.